Well, welcome back, everyone. There's some new additions and upgrading that's going to be happening on Putnam County, and here to talk about that is Putnam County Commissioner John Schlumbohm. Welcome, John.
Thanks, Chris. I appreciate you having me today.
Yeah, so
we've got an addition that we're working on for the Putnam County EMA facility in Glandorf. It's going to be targeted pretty much strictly to the EMS part. We're putting in a bunkhouse because the guys have been living in a nearby house since this started back in, I think it's been about 6-8 years ago. So anyway, just to update a little bit, our EMS started back in 1972 here in Putnam County. It was strictly on a volunteer basis, and it worked great through the 80s. We had a lot of volunteers, and then started to taper off a little bit in the late 90s, and we started struggling a little bit more in the 2000s. So we decided that we needed somewhat of a full-time EMS. We started out with just 2 paramedics that would run on runs with different squads throughout the county to provide additional service to those squads. But the volunteers, they're busy, and I get it. You know, we've got kids, I've got grandkids. They're all in different kinds of sporting events, and even through the summer they have all kinds of practices and stuff now. So, and a lot of the housewives used to help us out a lot back in the 70s and 80s when they weren't necessarily working another job besides their job at home. But they've gone off site, so they can't run during the day now either. So we get great coverage in the evening and at night, but we really need the help during the day. So back in, I don't know, about 2014 or so, maybe 15, we started with a full-time EMS service out of Glandorf, there by the Ambulatory Care Center. And we bought the house nearby as a bunkhouse for the guys to live in, and guys and ladies. And now that has become a little bit inefficient too. So, and we need room to park our apparatus. The ambulance service that they run out of there has taken off great. It's been a great service for Putnam County, but they need to be housed to the ambulance vans. So we're adding on 3 EMS bays and bunkhouse for all of the EMTs, different men's and women's facilities in there. That should get started sometime this fall. Brought up a little schematic there of the EMTs, so the bunkhouse. So anyway, we're looking forward to this, getting the guys out of that house and expanding the facility, and because it's going to be needed in the future.
Yeah, definitely. It's especially with the full-time positions, is a great addition to the services that are desperately needed, I'm sure. And then with the upgrades to the building, I think that's going to be fantastic, because you always want to upgrade, especially when you have important services like this that are needed.
That's right, Chris. Yeah, we started this journey probably 2.5-3 years ago, and of course prices have only gone up from that point. We were hoping to get through this thing for probably around $4 million back a few years ago, and it's going to run a little over $5 million now to do this project. But we've had enough carry over the last couple of years that we feel that we can do this without an additional tax, burdened upon the taxpayers. So hopefully that all works out for us.
All right. Well, John, thanks for coming on today and giving us all the great updates.
All right. Well, thank you, Chris. You have a great day.
All right. Well, don't go away, because medical news is coming up next.